Andrea Clausen here. Today we have another at-home HIIT circuit. So we have 2 total body circuits followed by a core circuit to finish. What you will need is maybe a mat and a pair of dumbbells. So for dumbbells, probably medium to maybe lighter weights. So you will find out in a little bit. We're gonna work those shoulders and we're really gonna hit the triceps today. All right, let's warm up. So we're gonna start at the back of our mat. We're gonna go ahead and squat, roll it on up, warming up those hamstrings, warming up your spine. Nice and easy. 2 more of those. Pushing through those heels, rolling on up. Last one. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna walk those hands out, high plank. And we're gonna go ahead and just take a few shoulder taps. So we're gonna tap our right hand to our left shoulder, our left hand to our right shoulder. So keep that up. I'm gonna show you from the front. It's gonna look like this, right to left, right to left. You can always do it from your knees. So if this is from your toes is a little bit too challenging, drop down to those knees. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hold that plank. From here, pushing those hips up and back, down dog, high plank. Taking a few of these, warming up through your core. So we do have some lots of movements that we're actually gonna be getting laid down for on our back for our triceps, but that does not mean you're gonna get off easy. It will still burn. Now we're gonna go ahead and crouch back, and so we're gonna crouch, loading our heels with our weight, or loading our toes, I should say, pushing back in that quad, and we're gonna spring forward to a high plank. So loading back, warming up the quads, spring forward, high plank. 2 more of those, pushing through your heels, springing forward like a cat. Last one, and forward. Good, walk those hands back to your feet, grabbing opposite elbows, ragdoll, releasing the head. Hands release to the floor, halfway lift, forward fold, arms rise up and overhead, releasing at your sides, stepping forward with that right leg into a lunge. From here, we're just gonna open up through the spine, left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky, and we're just gonna take a few right hand touch to your right foot, right hand opens back up. So opening through that spine, warming up through the back, warming up through your core, taking 1 more. And then we're gonna go ahead and find that high plank. Left foot's coming forward. And now left hand's reaching to the sky, coming back to that left foot. Warming up the torso, taking your time here. 1 more. And then we're gonna go ahead, framing that left foot, push off your right foot, and coming into a nice forward fold. Slowly rolling all the way up to stand. From here, warming up through the heels now. Squat, explode to the toes. Squat, explode up to the toes. So just warming up the Achilles through your ankles. 2 more. And then we're gonna bring some movement here. So just some subtle butt kicks. Maybe you take them wide to wide, or side to side, wider. 3, 2, and 1. Let's get started. So grab your dumbbells. We're going to use shoulders first, so whatever you want for your shoulder press. And we're going to take our heels and toes are going to be out. So we're going to start with a plie press to a shoulder press, or a plie squat to a shoulder press. We're going to squat down, stand and press. So as we're doing this, I want you to focus on pushing through your heels, taking those arms up and overhead, keeping your ribs down. So we're still working the core when we press up. So it's a nice dynamic movement. And hopefully, it shouldn't feel too bad. 2 more, because we're on our first move. Good. Now, take those feet together. Either stay with both weights, or combine, or drop one, and have just end to end. So I'm trying to show you end to end. So you can either do that, or both weights. I'm going to do end to end, because I think it's easier to do with this one. But you're going to do end to end, overhead, triceps. Let me find my wall so you can see me. Drop the shoulders, or drop the weight down to your shoulders, pull up and overhead. So as we're doing this, I want you to keep your ribs down. So ribs stay down, and that way it doesn't have any pressure in the low back. If you feel pressure in your low back, stagger your stance. Make sure your bum is tucked under, so those lower ribs are staying down, and that will help with the back pressure as well. We're gonna do 1 more. Now I want you to keep it back, and we're gonna do little pulses. Pulse it, pulse it. So keep those elbows facing forwards. Keep those ribs down. Feel it in the back of the arms. If you don't feel it, this might be your cue to go heavier for the next set. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop that weight down, or grab both weights. Plie pulses. So now we're back to that plie, but this time we're just pulsing. So if you have the weights, you can go ahead and keep those weights just hanging here or at your chest. I find the chest sometimes gets into that low back. So hanging here to make sure you're activating through the glutes. In 5, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the weights this time, and we're going to go ahead and do butt kicks. Now, butt kicks can either be here, or you can always step it. We're adding on though. So as you're doing these butt kicks, keep doing your butt kicks. I want to talk and make sure you guys get this. But butt kicks, I clap, you're going to drop and do a burpee. And then back up to your butt kicks. When I clap, we're going to drop and do a burpee. All right? So from those butt kicks, when I clap, we're all dropping for a burpee. So burpeeing it back and up, back to the butt kicks. You can also burpee where you hit the floor and do a push-up. Your choice. You can always walk it back too. So we can either walk it back like so. That's low impact. And low impact can be here. All right, still getting the heart rate up. Hitting the floor with your burpee. Another option. So those are all 3 options. We got one more. Choose your best option. Woo! All right. Grab your weights, round 2. So, you decide if you want to go heavier or not. So second set, we got 3 sets of everything. So if you want to go heavier, grab those heavier weights now. Otherwise, plie squat down and shoulder press up. So elbows are coming alongside the body, and then we're pressing and standing. I like to push through my heels to make sure my glutes are activated. Because a lot of times, our glutes tend to get weaker, just especially if we're sitting a lot. So making sure those heels are really activating through the backside of the body. One more. Very good. And you'll again, dropping one of those weights or changing weights, your overhead triceps. So grabbing it end to end, arms up and overhead, dropping that weight down, pulling it back over. So once more, tailbone is tucked under. I am working my core because my ribs are staying down. So this is not just an upper body movement, my core is activated. So keep that tailbone down, nice flat back. Once more, you can always stagger your stance if you need to, but really try to pull from your core. Or I would suggest, I have found, sometimes if your low back is really feeling it, you might have too heavy of a weight. And if you can find the lighter weight, do so, because that can help with that lower back. And you might have greater range of motion. So if your range of motion is only looking like this, try to get a lighter weight so you can really get that full range of motion. We got 2 more. And then we're going to stay back, little pulses. So now this is not the full range of motion. This is when we want to pulse and really fire up all parts of that tricep head. 3, 2, and 1. This time, no weights, please. No weights, because we're going to add on to our plie pulses. So, plie pulses. We're going to stay nice and low. I'm going to give you a few options. Stay here if you want. This is low impact. If you want to take it up a bit, we're going to add some forward and backward jumps. So, it might look like this. So, this is an option. If you want to try to step up, step back, another option, or just stay here. So, wherever you're at, choose which option feels best for you today, and try to land light on your toes if you're jumping, and make sure you're landing with the ball bone of your foot, and then rolling to your heels. Try to stay low. We got 2 more jumps forward. That's 1. 1 more. Forward and back. Great. Butt kicks, shaking it out. We're gonna add on those claps once more. When I clap, you got that burpee. That was a really weak clap, sorry. Hopefully you choose the burpee option that you want, that is best for you. You like push-ups, go for that full push-up burpee. Again, if this is too much, you can just ignore the claps and don't do the burpee. Just stay with the butt kicks, whatever you want. I'm always all about you do you. Woo! Let's get another burpee in there, huh? Last burpee. Woo! All right. 3rd and final triceps. If you can, if this is accessible. So I have pretty light weights today. I found full transparency, I found some 8s that I had. I was demoing with 10s, but I'm still doing my own workouts and recording these, so I was getting tired. So I have really light ones. So this feels really nice, which, depending on what you have at home, that might be your option. Maybe you need to take it up a notch because you only have lighter weights right now. I know there's a ton of back order on weights, so you can make sure you're getting what you need to out of your workout. So sometimes that means adding that extra move to make sure you really feel it. Woo! Last one. Now, go ahead, overhead triceps, dropping down to that one weight or keeping both weights if you need to. Full range of motion, triceps, full range of motion. Once you're here, settling in, making sure tailbone is tucked just slightly, ribs stay down. So even I feel this on my triceps with just the littler weight. I shouldn't say littler, but littler compared to what maybe I usually would lift. But it's endurance right now. So keeping those shoulders down, feeling that burn. Now we're gonna go ahead and hold back and pulse. Pulse. Make sure that tailbone stays down, ribs are down, core is working, little pulses. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weight down, back to those plie squats. So you're either little pulses, or you're walking it, or you're jumping it. You decide. We got 15 of the jumps with me, or approximate if I lose count, which I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm losing count today. So my bad. If we do a few extra, we do a few extra. It's what was needed. I'm at 10 though. So if you're counting at home and you want to do more, speed up that pace. Or you don't want to do as many, you can stop whenever you need to. Last one for me, forward and back and butt kicks. Here we go. Last time with those butt kick burpees. When I clap, you do a burpee. So, oh man, I'm starting off weak with those claps. There we go. Clapping it out. Here we go. Making sure when you're landing in that high plank, it's nice and flat with the back. Don't let those hips sink. Strong core. We're almost done. 2 more burpees. I'm feeling 2 in me. Feeling 1 more in me. Let's go. Woo! All right, grab water if you need to. We're gonna start a second set. Or a second circuit, I should say. Already done 3 sets of that one. But we get to lay down. This whole next circuit is on the floor. So, I'm gonna need you to grab medium to lighter weights. First option, tricep extensions on your back. I'm gonna go 2 options for you. Again, depending on your weights, what you have available. Option 1, if you have lighter weights and this feels good, you're gonna do tricep extensions. So you'll drop the dumbbells, 1 by your ear, 1 by your ear. If you're like, ooh, those are too heavy for me to do that, you'll take 1, grab it end to end like we just did, and you'll do skull crushers, dropping it down to the top of your forehead. All right? So wherever you're at, choose one of those options. Push your lower back into the mat so your hips are tilted back, arms are straight up, and go ahead and start. Wherever you're at, dropping those dumbbells to the ears and the shoulders, and pull up using that tricep. So hopefully you really start to feel that tricep muscle because we've already worked it once today. Now we're going to be working it just a little bit more, and your core is working to hold you here. We got 2 more. And if you have 2 dumbbells, go ahead and put 1 down gently, grab end to end, and we got pullovers. Straight arms overhead as far as you can, and then pulling it to the chest. Arms stay straight, back stays flat. Really push the lower abs into the mat. Exhale as you bring the dumbbell up right above your chest. Low back is pushed down. And we're really working the core. If you're doing it right, you should feel in the core. If you're not quite feeling anything, you might need to go a a little bit heavier if you can. If you can't, really focus on almost like you're doing a crunch, but with your arms and your core is having to pull that weight over. We got one more. Very good. Flipping over now, high plank. All right, we're starting with plank jacks. So up in that high plank, you're gonna jump your feet out together, out together. Option, modification, tap side to side. So we're either jumping or tapping. Going with me, shoulders, elbows, wrist, one straight line. Hips are trying to stay nice and level. Here's the tapping option one more time. Keep going. Tap, tap, tap. And pause in the middle. Hold that high plank. Mountain climbers, driving those knees up the center or walking them up. Here we go. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Flipping it back around. Round 2. So tricep extensions on your back. Once more, we're going to the ears, or we're doing the skull crusher to the top of the forehead. So grabbing your weights, pushing that low back down, and then dropping those dumbbells to the sides of the ears or to the top of the forehead. Whichever option you choose, both are equally as good. Just depends on what you have and what you're working with today. If you do this workout again, maybe you try one way once, try it the other way the next time, if you have the equipment to do so. You kind of see which way you like better or which way you felt it more. We got 3 more. Last one of these. Now, whichever one you chose, pulses. Little pulses. So you're either pulsing with your skull crusher or pulsing with those tricep extensions. Lower back push down, little pulses. Feel that burn for 3, 2, and 1. One weight down gently, taking it up and overhead, and pullovers. Going down, up, listen up, bridge pulse, up and down. So we got that pullover, low back is pushed down. Once it meets the chest, your hips lift and lower. So keep up with this movement, your pullover to your bridge pulse. Low back push down, feel that core work, lift those hips. Keep it up, exhaling as you pull that weight over. Making sure with those bridge pulses, you're pushing through your heels. Woo, feeling that. We got 6 to go. Last 5. Really feel that crunch as you pull the dumbbell. Last 2. After this, we're flipping over to that high plank again. And flipping over, high plank, adding on. High plank, you're going to do a plank jack to a tricep push-up. So, plank jack, you're either tap, tap, and then your push-up from your knees or your toes. Remember, tricep, you want to have those elbows and those shoulders, everything is rubbing against the body. Or your plank jack and dropping it down. All right, wherever we're at, ready, and hit it. Plank jack to that triceps. You decide where you're at, toes or knees. Making sure you're trying to keep that back nice and flat. Exhaling as you do your push-up. When you push yourself away from the floor, that really helps. We can do it. We got 1 more, everyone. Up, high plank. Mountain climbers are up next. Hitting that high plank. Driving those knees in. Or running them in and not tapping. You can do that modification. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last set of these. Back down to your back. Grabbing your dumbbells. All right. Here we go. We are going to do, this time, an adding on from here. So you're going to chest press to your triceps. All right, so chest press and triceps. If you have the skull crusher, it will look like this. Chest press to the tricep. You're deciding which one, but we're adding that chest press. Keep going. Try not to stop. But this really hits that tricep too, having that little narrow chest press, which should be how you're doing your tricep push-ups. So when you do those tricep push-ups, your arms should be rubbing your ribs just like they are for this chest press. That's a good tell sign if you feel similar muscles working right now as you did with that push-up. We're looking good. We got 5 to go. those pulses when we're done. So don't drop those weights just yet. 3, we got 2 more. 2, last full rep. And then holding there and little pulses wherever you're at. Skull crushers or triceps. Low back, push down. Breathe through this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping 1 dumbbell if you need to. Skull crushers. Pullovers. So we're going to do pullover this time with that bridge lift. This time, bridge is going to be held the whole time. So I want you to focus on those triceps as well as the core. So with that bridge, like I have my toes popping off the floor, so I'm really digging through my heels. My core is really turning on strong as I have that weight overhead. So we're exhaling as we pull up and overhead. Looking good. I'm just assuming everyone's looking good. I can't tell. But I'm just gonna assume you look great. You're doing great. We got 3 to go. 2, now you're gonna keep your hips up there after this one. Hips stay up. Bring that dumbbell to your hip bones. Pulse down and up for those bridge pulses. Pushing through those heels. Working the glutes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hold that bridge, hold that bridge, hold that bridge. Squeeze the glutes. And lower it back down. Weights off to the side. Hitting that high plank. Back to those plank jacks, to your tricep push-ups. So your plank jack taps into that push-up. So you're either tapping those plank jacks out. If the tricep push-ups are too much, just do your plank jack. You don't even have to do those tricep push-ups. Or if you do want to hit extra triceps, but you're not quite ready for the floor, you can always do them on the wall. 3 more. Last 2. My triceps are feeling it. Woo! Last one. High plank. Mountain climbers, running it out. Bringing those knees up the chest. Right up the middle. For 5, 4, we're gonna hold a high plank when we're done. And hold that high plank. Hold that high plank. Squeeze the glutes. Make sure those arms are nice and straight. Shoulders, elbows, wrist. One straight line. Push it up and back, down dog. Walk those hands back to your feet. And slowly roll it up. Woo. Grab water if you need. Just a little water though. We got core coming up next. So I was trying to grab a little to make sure that my voice won't crack as I'm teaching. So, but just a little bit, because I know what core work I have coming up for you guys. We're gonna go ahead and come back to our backs. So I told you guys to do a lot of laying down on our backs today. Doesn't mean it's any easier of a workout though. So we're gonna come down, legs are gonna go straight up. Arms are gonna be like robot arms. So your back of the arms are down on the mat, your arms are up kind of like robots at 90 degrees. We're just gonna do a slight pelvic tilt. So you're just tipping those hips up. So notice, pretend my legs actually go straight. They don't. My hamstrings are too tight. So this is straight for me, but if your legs actually look straight, like that, that's what they should look like. Well, not should, but if you have tight hamstrings, you might also look like this, and that's okay. But this little tilt, I'm using all low belly. And so it's more of a punch to the sky than anything. All right, we're adding on from here. We're gonna take that right leg now behind the left. My right leg is behind the left leg. I'm gonna do that reverse crunch. Now my right leg's lowering, coming behind the left. Reverse crunch, lower, behind the left. Keeping this little movement up. If you feel this in your low back, just stop. I mean, I would just say stop. The rest of this is probably not gonna go great for the low back. So I won't even do a modification because this one's gonna be a little bit more challenging. So if you feel in your low back, like now, pause the workout or just stop the workout because I don't think the rest of these moves will go well with it. Just being honest in what I've tried and seen with people. Because this one is a little movement. 2 more. And unless I really see you in person, I can't tell you exactly how to tweak your move. And we're gonna switch. Left leg now behind the right. Left leg lowers, coming behind that leg and up. So it's kind of a finicky little one, but you're really focusing on hips going to the sky versus behind your head. So it's just a little tip of the pelvis. Like I can feel my core and my lower abs working to maintain this. We got 4 more on this side. 3. I can just hear mine like right on a squeaky spot. Last one. Good, hands behind your head. Slow bicycle. So left leg's going long, right elbow to left knee, sorry. Left elbow to right knee. You know, bicycles. But we're taking them slow and slow. So I want you to squeeze for a second before you switch sides. And I want you to focus on the low back, staying down the mat. In 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to go ahead and flip over. Low plank hold this time. So coming down to the low plank, let's take those hands. I'm guilty of this, but I'm trying to really work on this, is take them apart like this for your low plank. So when we're holding that low plank, shoulder blades pulled down and back. So I'm really squeezing my glutes, and my arms are apart, and I'm really focusing on the right muscles working, which usually means kind of that mid to low back. So I'm pulling those shoulder blades down and back, activating the right muscles. We're here for another 3, 2, and 1. Dropping back to your knees, and go ahead and flip over. This time, we got more crunches, but a variation. So now we got starfish crunches this time. So everything's out wide. We're gonna come up, balance on those sits bones, and then lay back down. So crunching up like so. Keep this up, or you're looking like this. So that low back can be pushed down, head is lifted. So whichever option works best for you. We all got 1 more after this. And back down to your back. This time, we got those hands underneath those reverse crunches, legs straight up. We're gonna go ahead and alternate. So left leg is gonna go behind, we're gonna go up, left leg lowers down, and then we're switching. Right leg, lower crunch, lower the right leg down, hook it behind the left, switch, left leg lower down, reverse. Right leg, lower it down, coming up, reverse. So that lower, when it comes up, that's when you crunch, and then you flip. If you are like, I'm having problems with the flipping, just try to do 5 each side, because we're shooting for 10 total. Because I know it's kind of tricky, especially on a video. Because I might be saying right, but you might be seeing it's my left. And I just did 2 in a row there anyway. Gotta even myself out now. 1 more on each side, or just 2 more for you, whichever one you're doing. And back to those slow bicycles. Slow, slow. Hold for a second, hold for a second. Keeping that slow and controlled. 3, 2, and 1. Flipping over, plank hold. Making sure those arms are apart. Shoulders pulled down the back, squeezing the glutes. Really activating through that mid to low back. Holding here and breathing. Looking good for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping to those knees. Flipping back around. Last time with things. This time, tabletop crunch to lengthen. So the legs are up at 90 degrees. You're going to crunch, and everything is going to lengthen long and behind. So we crunch, low back stays down, lengthen. Now noticing my legs are going higher to the sky versus the floor, because I can't keep my low back down when I'm here. Then I arch and I'm all over the place. So I don't want that. That's not great for my core, because then I'm just using my hip flexors and I'm not actually working the right muscles I want for my midsection. So deciding where you should be for that is going to be individual. We got 1 more though. Good. Now for our obliques, we're going to come up to a side plank. Either from your knees, so you're going to have that bottom leg down, or both legs up to the sky. From here, hands behind the head, crunching elbow to knee together. Crunches. So again, your bottom knee can be down, and you can do these from your knee. We're halfway on this side. Last 2. Last 1, and other side. So flipping around. Again, bottom knee can be down, hips lifted, or both legs straight. Crunching knee to elbow. We're almost done. We just have a plank after this. I always say planks are like kissing your workout goodbye. It's when you know you're done. Usually with me, last one. Good. Plank, low plank. If you need to, you can always do that high plank though. Here we go, forearms on your forearms, shoulders pull back, looking at the top of your mat, squeezing those glutes, really activating from that mid to low back, working that core, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping out of those knees, pushing those hips back, child's pose. Taking a few seconds there in your child's pose, thinking of what you're grateful for today, grateful for moving your body, getting a workout done. And then when you're ready, you can gently come up to your knees. I would suggest some stretching, maybe catching a yoga video, doing some stretching on your own, your favorite moves, whatever you feel like needs to be worked and stretched. And I thank you all so much for coming, moving your body with me today, and I'll catch you all next week.